Y'all know life is good, especially when you get stuff for free. Cause I was on my couch last night, HBO Max, watching The Suicide Squad, taking notes. And don't you cap! I know your ass was on the couch too. Ain't nobody go to the theater apparently, cause this movie ain't performing that well. It's sad, considering that this is exactly what the Suicide Squad should be in live action. A crazy, wild ride with psychotic people who are not okay mentally, who are not okay morally, but come together to take out worser people or a bigger threat. I love this movie. Now, this is SpoilerChill, where I'm gonna talk about the whole movie like you was in the motherfucking living room with me. Alright? We're going through it. Cause this right here is SpoilerChill. I don't want to get too deep into the inner workings of WB because we'll be here for hours. But this film being rated R helped it so much. There's a plethora of things done in The Suicide Squad that couldn't have been executed in a PG-13 film. It being rated R benefited the story greatly. Y'all gonna see why. The movie opened up with a little bit of creativity. The WB logo was different specifically for this movie. It's the little things that lets you know how creative something's gonna be. And that was one of those moments. We have Michael Rooker's character, Savant, who's at Argus in his cell, playing with a bouncy ball. Spoiler alert, this is SpoilerChill! Tweety Bird gets clapped up quick. Welcome to the Space Jam. That motherfucker got clapped up quick. And right there, I'm like, oh wow. This movie is gonna be that type of movie, where there's gonna be a lot of slaying and a lot of killing. And I was right. From there, Amanda Waller rips him out of his cell. Hey, look, I need you for this special mission. He doesn't want to do it, but we know she on demon time. She puts him along with a whole bunch of other random members together on a task force team with Rick Flag. Now, you know it's bullshit because Rick don't know half these people.
Did anyone check on where the weasel could swim?
You all are fucked.
The demonic shit that happens is key later on. This does need to be said though. The Suicide Squad is exactly what I knew it was from the first trailer. It's a sequel. Don't let James Gunn or anybody from the cast pull a fast one on you and say, it's a reboot, it's a remake, it's a sequel. When we first see Harley Quinn, she immediately recognizes Captain Boomerang, has a name for him. Hey, how you been? He asks her, what are you doing here? How'd you get back here again? And she's like, hey, I had a driving road rage in a bank. Okay, it's a sequel. We have Rick Flag referencing certain things from the past, right? We even have a moment later on in the film where Harley is acceptable to the wiles of this evil dictator because she feels lonely. She feels lonely because she's no longer in a relationship with the hunka Joker, the fire in my loins Joker. She's no longer with Suicide Squad Joker. So this movie's a fucking sequel, man. Don't let nobody pull no fast one on you. Now back to the review. Thank you. This movie did such an amazing job at balancing a plethora of characters. There are so many damn characters in this movie that you forget a few every single time you're watching it. Oh, this person was here. Oh, that person did that. Oh, wow. Okay, there goes the Thinkerer. I forgot about him, but I saw him in the trailers. There's such a masterful job done of not only giving everybody their moment, whether it's dialogue or action or both, but what James Gunn also did that was so great with this movie was that he found a way to quickly introduce every single member of Task Force X who was new. And he did it quick. No disrespect to the other Suicide Squad movie, but damn, when they would have these characters appear on screen, they'll give you like 40 fucking lines of text right next to their picture. Like they expect for you to be Neo in the Matrix and read that shit. I'm in the movie theater seeing Deadshot and like 40 different things pop up next to his name afterwards. Nigga, you expect me to read that shit? What the fuck? Introductions lasting forever as these characters have flashbacks and all of this extra nonsense. But for this one, we get introduced, the character's name, and we going forward. We get introduced, this is so-and-so, they come from here, next character. Awesome introductions. It made it more engaging. When you're going through the jail cell and you're introduced to Squad B with Peacemaker, Ratcatcher, King Shark, the introductions were so witty and quick.
In his hands, anything is a deadly weapon. His father was a soldier who trained his son how to kill from the moment he was born.
Are you having a laugh?
What?
You just said each member of the team is chosen for their unique abilities. He does exactly what I do, but better.
I enjoyed them a lot more in this movie because we got an opportunity to learn more about them as the film went on. That was cool. The one person on the entire Task Force X team, the official one, that I set up there about 20 minutes after the movie went off, and I said to myself, why was this motherfucker here? I watched the trailers and said, why is this motherfucker here? I'm watching the movie. Why is this motherfucker here? King Shark is a waste of oxygen in this movie. They really played up Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa, the leader of the Expendables, Rambo, is voicing King Shark, y'all. It's going to be a masterful performance. King Shark ain't do shit.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
2 packs of ass is what King Sharks is. Terrible in this film. He does nothing to contribute to the team. All he talks about is friendship and wanting to eat people. He has no type of significant contribution. I was waiting for that Diablo moment from him. I was waiting for that big, okay, you thought he was useless for the first 2 acts of the movie. And in the 3rd act, he comes out and is crazy on their ass. He never did that. He was useless the entire movie. His biggest contribution was chewing into Starro's tentacle and getting his ass thrown into a building. He's sitting in a van for most of this movie. A complete waste, man. Yo, I want my CGI money back, man, if I'm Warner Brothers. That's terrible. I personally wouldn't say that many comic book films are really mandated for adults, but there are a few that I say, okay, 18 years or older to watch this, because it's some crazy shit. Deadpool 1 was crazy. There was some shit going on. A lot of blood, a lot of gore, and some sexual stuff early on. Ain't for kids. The Joker ain't for kids, okay? I'm incel. Ain't for kids. The Suicide Squad is not for kids. If you got children, they do not need to watch this movie. The blood and the gore in this movie is extreme.
Wipe yourself off, man. You dead.
That's right. This ain't Power Rangers. We ain't got sparks flying on the chest. We got blood. We got guts. Blackguard has his face blown the fuck off within the first 3 minutes of the movie. This ain't for kids. You have full frontal nudity. Pause. You also had a titty that popped out. You had so much blood and gore. Even some of the more horrific type stuff where the Thinker literally has himself pulled apart by Starro. There's a lot of guts and things happening on the bloody side in this damn movie. It earns the R rating, and it definitely benefits the action and makes these villains actually feel like villains instead of fighting mummified blobs of poop like they were in the last one and shit. The Enchantress soldiers. No, here they're actually killing people. There are people actually being killed in this. So the movie benefited from that greatly. James Gunn, I finally understand why he was chosen for this movie. This man is a master at being able to get audiences to rally around some of the most weirdest fucking people. Some of the most insignificant, what the fuck were they thinking type characters. This man is able to give so much personality and realism to. The Polka Dot Man has several moments in this movie that are either emotional or are just fucking badass. The Polka Dot Man! Even the actress that played Ratcatcher was really well done with how the rats would either attack people, she could summon a sea of rats. I want to talk about that a little bit later. Or she could actually use the rats to infiltrate places, take down security. That was really, really cool how he made us endeared to Ratcatcher. And it's Ratcatcher 2 on top of that. And I was like, okay, what's going to happen with Peacemaker, played by John Cena, in this film that's going to make me intrigued into actually being hyped for the Peacemaker series, right? Now, we all know the Market Digital channel is going to watch that shit anyway and review it, but what's going to make me hyped for it? And Peacemaker in this movie is such a twisted, demented person that it makes you go, okay, the dry humor in combination with the violence makes this a very intriguing person to want to keep tabs on for his own HBO Max series. Some of the banter with him in Bloodsport was so funny, so well written.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck.
And Viola Davis. Viola Davis deserves her fucking flowers. Look, this woman crushed Amanda Waller in the first Suicide Squad movie. I was like, bruh, ain't nobody talking about how dope she was in a PG-13 movie of playing this demonic character. For this one, with it being rated R, she was able to go another level. When I tell you this woman is a bitch, this woman is the devil. She is straight up the devil in this movie. She's using kids for leverage. She's talking about kids being fresh meat. Devil. This woman sacrificed a whole team of Task Force X members as a distraction. Devil. This woman plants bombs in the necks of the members. Devil.
But she's like a fucking demon. She's like the fucking exorcist.
She cannot be trusted. And Viola Davis played that shit perfectly. She played it so perfectly that you will almost think she is that in real life. That's how fucking good she did. So she deserves some flowers for that, man. Her, Amanda Waller is perfect. It is perfect to the source material. With that being said, let's talk about some of the more creative things James Gunn put into this film from a director standpoint. Like I said, you look for little things of creativity and that can lead to big things. And one little thing he did that was so cool, if you pay attention to early in the movie, Warner Brothers presents some of that promotional text was blood in the water. Very creative. Talking about the next chapter of the movie, showing up in flames as Bloodsport, Rick Flag, and Peacemaker walk away. was creative. Let's keep going. The scene of Harley Quinn busting out of her imprisonment and the flowers coming up around her representing blood. Boy, that was so creative. That really gave that scene its own individual category almost in comic book film history. Like when you talk about creative scenes in this genre, the Harley Quinn escape scene is going to be one of them. The flowers were this really personal extra touch that I thought was really well done. And lastly, when Peacemaker winds up double-crossing Rick Flag. Piece of shit. That motherfucker a piece of shit. When he ultimately does that, the first 10 seconds of their fight is a reflection in Peacemaker's helmet. And when you're first looking at it, you're like, ugh. Ugh. Why are they doing that? But then you enjoy the actual creativity of that helmet placement, of seeing it from that perspective, and how it kind of gave that scene its own identity. That was nice how James Gunn came up with that, and even better how he executed it. Now, I gotta be honest here, and some people are gonna disagree with this, but I don't give a fuck. The final battle with Starro. Starro is a classic Superman villain from my understanding, a more alien-based villain. And I don't know what the fuck is the obsession with having the Suicide Squad fight these otherworldly beings. I don't get the obsession with that. Because every single time it's put to film, it's failed. Every single time we're introduced to them fighting some Enchantress or Starro type threat, it's never executed well. When they are battling Starro, this gigantic starfish, at the end of the movie, it is one of the most disappointing climaxes to a comic book film I've seen in a long time. It basically consists of Ratcatcher summoning an entire city of rats to overtake Starro, Harley Quinn to take the javelin, go inside of the eye, and the rats go inside the eye and eat it from the inside. I tried my best to explain that bullshit. I tried my best. I tried my best, but I guess my best wasn't good. I tried my best. And I guess the writers and James Gunn tried their best with that, but you failed. You failed. That was terrible how rushed the final battle was. There was no type of elite way of thinking, no Task Force X unlocked. Look at these people come together to battle this gigantic squid and take it down. No, there was none of that. It was so put together at the end. A very disappointing climax to something of that magnitude. Because when Starro is first introduced, it's some really spooky shit. To see a starfish moving around like that, with other starfish coming out of his armpits and shit. Some spooky shit. Seeing the starfish go on people's faces and these people be controlled was some spooky shit. But the way it ended was like, oh my God. That in combination with King Shark are two of the biggest gripes I have with this movie. Beyond that, this ragtag group of people coming together was well executed, and I enjoyed the overall movie. The music placement was cool. It didn't feel like it was overkill. Sometimes in this genre, it could be overkill, but it wasn't here. So, the Suicide Squad. What does it get? What does it deserve? The Suicide Squad gets a mother freaking B. I really liked this movie, bruh. I really liked it. Sad that it was put on HBO Max for free. Because we all know it's demon time. If a movie ends up on HBO Max, Netflix, Disney Plus, any streaming service, Load them torrents up. We know what time it is. And that definitely fucked this movie up. Anyway, it's been weird, but it's been real. My God, this sweat is killing me. Got nothing to say. Get out of here, bitch.
When I pull up, she gon' look though. Look at he mad, ain't look, bro. She bad as hell, but can't cook though. It don't matter, but you still watching me while I did it for the look though. 100 feet worth of drip, don't drown this fly shit, that's the look though. And look though, I'm the wave, you can look though. I'm something different, I don't think you get it, but I still did it for the look though. Look though.